Hey guys, welcome to a new video. I tried this out last patch and you seem to like the new format, so we're going to stick with 5 to 6 minute videos covering each role quickly and having like 2 a day. We're going to start with AD carry, but there will be a mid one out later tonight and the other roles tomorrow, so links for all of them will be below when they're released, plus a list of champions I'll talk about. We're going to kick this off with a brand new entry, so I'm finally going to put Draven in one of these. You have no idea how much I get flamed by Draven mains in these videos normally. It's unreal. Anyway, he has spiked up everywhere right now, even in Korea where he's never played, and it's all because of how good he is early. He is actually by far the best early game AD carry you can play in 7.9. He has good damage, lifesteal with the Bloodthirster Rush, plus you can actually end with the lead. It's hard for most AD carries to actually do that, right? Turn a lead into a game win. Not really with Draven though. Like, it's the built-in mechanic with his passive, so he gets a kill, he gets more items, then even more gold. He comes back to lane with those more items, he farms a bit more, then he gets another kill and even more items after that. If he's actually ahead, right, he's getting items at a faster rate than anybody else would, so it's almost impossible to actually keep up with them. Static Shiv is also really good on him. It's coming up more. The burst is insane with this. Like, try it. I think you'll actually be surprised. The main things really are a really strong early game, great at punishing most AD carries, and he can legit like solo carry a game right now, even in this meta. And number 4 is going to be Kog'Maw. If this was Diamond Plus, he would actually be second in this video, but purely based on the fact that most people watching this are Platinum below, he's going to be 4th. It's not really about you actually as much the player, if that makes sense. It's who you're surrounded by. Kog'Maw is 10 times better with a good support and a good team to protect him. That does not tend to happen at lower ranks, which makes you less effective. He is the type of champion though to be losing super hard, get a few random kills, get items, and actually turn the entire thing around. It's so tilting to play against. His damage is insane right now with Rage Blade. Everybody is buying it first or second after the blade, and it just becomes pretty silly, honestly. You shred tanks, you can even start to shred squishy players with that range with Rage Blade, and you never have to worry. Like, you always stand a good chance to carry. The main things are your synergy with items, both your items and your support's items, who provide a crap ton of damage. His mid game is insane, and something that's not too typical of Kog'Maw, he's actually decent at every single stage of the game right now in 7.9, from early game to late game. Now, Twitch then is the lower elo version of Kog'Maw basically, mainly because he does not need his team at all. He's pretty overpowered right now, honestly, if you use him correctly, and by that I mean you roam around, you fight people, you get kills, and you snowball yourself. It's so broken that once you get past 25 minutes into a game, you have the highest win rate out of any single AD carry at every single stage of the game. It's so bad that Draven is the only guy that can ruin his day, and that's because he spanks Twitch in the lane phase so hard that he can't recover. He is the best late game AD though. Long range, you hit multiple people. That's one of the biggest things. Like, you're a crit based AD carry who hits the whole team instead of just one person like a Caitlyn. The main thing is you have the best team fight out of any AD carry you can play. Like, very high range, you hit the whole team, and you're hitting them with crits, poison, fervor, and percentage health damage. So much for crit buffs ruining Lucian at number 2, right? Like, he's still just as strong as ever, honestly. He's the safest AD you can play right now. Very high mobility, good duelist, like 1v1, damage from range with his ultimate, and he can dodge so much damage himself. You can burst people, you can pump out consistent damage from your passive, which means you're going to be good versus tanks, bruisers, mages, pretty much anybody actually. Even after the cleaver nerfs, right, in 7.9, is still everywhere second, but Death Stance is a really nice addition instead of Blade if you want to try that. I think it's really good. I'm doing that at the moment. You take less damage, you still do a butt ton, and you burst more. I'll link a video about that below as well to check out. I know I say this all the time, but it's how much damage you can do combined with how safe you are. You're always going to be good, because if you screw up normally as an AD, that's it. You've cost the team the fight basically, but Lucian is so forgiving. The main things are your really high damage, you're good in the lane phase, you can snowball that lead and use it mid game, but you still have a decent late game as well. You really are not team reliant, so it's ideal for solo queue. Now, Caitlyn is going to take this whole thing though one step further. You could pick her in every single game and she'd be super good in all of them. I'm not even kidding. She doesn't feel like overpowered to play against because you can kind of shut her down, right? You can gank her, you can punish her lack of mobility, and also just because some people are really bad at her. They think she's very easy, so they pick her, and sure, to like push and poke in the lane phase, it is, but mid game takes some skill. She's got one of the highest skill ceilings out of any AD carry, which means there are a lot of advanced things you can actually learn to improve your damage. You can auto reset with headshots, you can net and trap together directly underneath for 2 headshots, you can trap auto cancel. There's lots of stuff to increase DPS mid game that is hard to do. It's also supports, right? You're good with defensive ones, you can use their shields and stuff to do work yourself, but you can follow up more aggressive ones. Mainly you're chaining the crowd control with your traps, to be honest. The main thing really is you're one of the safest AD carries with your net and range, but you also have one of the highest damage outputs, plus some utility with the traps and a good lane phase as well. There are a few mentions to make on top of those 5 though. The first one is Xayah. At high reload, she is taking off big time right now. I don't think she's that easy to play. She's a bit awkward, but once you get to grips with her kit, she is so strong. strong. She does have some crazy burst if you max your E. AoE damage is off the charts, like really good self-peel. And her ultimate is literally a lifesaver against a lot of picks. In my opinion, she is a lot better when she gets ahead in the lane phase and also when her team is ahead. Now, there are two picks that are much better this patch though. Vayne, first one, probably going to do a video about this soon actually, but the shift buffs have made a big difference to Vayne. I think she's really strong again, and in the right hands, definitely viable. Jinx is basically a mini version of Caitlyn, but the runes change is really good. Her rockets already apply on her bolts, right? But now they're going to do more damage because the runes bolts do a higher percentage of your AD as well. I actually think Jinx is probably top 3 at low elo for AD carries right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick look into the AD carry role in 7.9. Let me know what you think below. Watch out for the other roles over the next few days, but for now, I'll leave you with the robots.